Okay, hello everyone. This is Sharonda, and this is my podcast as well as my YouTube channel, Spirit Sense. Today is Friday. Typically, I don't do readings on Friday, but somehow I am prompted to do a reading, a 10 card spread with my Urban Tarot. But first, I would like to state that this podcast and YouTube channel is for entertainment purposes, informational, and sometimes educational purposes. Just depends on which podcast or what episode you may listen to. All right, so I'm going to state that, oftentimes, I'm not going to say oftentimes, sometimes I hear into the spirit realm. I do. Well, that transpired on the wee hours of the morning yesterday as well as today. So when I get those inklings, it lets me know perhaps I need to come in here and do a tarot, right? Because typically I do my tarot cards on what days? Sundays, Tuesdays, and Thursdays. So um, when I begin to hear into the spiritual realm, that's what prompts me to do it or to do a tarot card to see, okay, maybe this is a message that God wants to convey. Well, so I typically watch other psychics and mediums, and somehow I say, okay, well, let me go ahead and do a 10 card with my Urban Tarot and see what message comes in. So I was going to get up today and speak about spiritual scanners, which the sub spiritual subject will be um, remote viewing, ESP, and mind readers. And I will proceed to do that later on today, um, or what have you. But I'm gonna go ahead and do this reading because I want to see what message comes out by way of this reading. So I'm gonna tell you what occurred. So yesterday morning, I heard into the spiritual sense. It was a sound. I'm trying to think of what it was. It was a knock, right? No, it was I can't even remember right now. I'm sorry. I do apologize. But this morning, I heard different knocks knocking. That's what I heard. It was like a group of knocks coming from the closet. In my spiritual sense, this is the spiritual. Um, it wasn't auditory like how I'm speaking, and you may hear me for those who may be listening. So many times when I get those inclinings, I say, okay, maybe I need to go in here and do a reading because maybe it's a message from the other side. So that's what I'm going to do now. All right. So these readings will be spontaneous. I don't hear in the spiritual realm all the time. I don't. Right. All right, so I've said my prayer off camera. I pay homage. Let me pay homage to Bash and Maya, Shango, Osiris, my aunts, the Ogun and Oshun. And so we're going to go ahead. We're going to proceed with the Urban Tarot 10 card Celtic cross spread. All right, so let's say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Again, this is for entertainment purposes. It is for entertainment purposes, okay? So I am trying to see what message, if any, in relation to what the spirits are wanting me to convey, right? Okay. All right, so let's say 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and this is card 1. Satiety. Satiety. Right? Um, for those who may be tuning in or will be listening in, um, I did a reading, I did a visual presentation on, um, gosh, give me just a moment. I'm trying to get this straightened out here so you're able to view on altars, ancestral altars, right? And could this very well be regarding that? See, that I don't know. That I don't know. But we will find out. So I have society here. Number 10. What 10 represents what? End of cycles. This is what the reading is on. Society has a lot to do with fulfillment or lack thereof. So because it has end of cycle there, I would say unfulfilled. Unfulfilled. That's what it lets me know. Unfulfilled, unfulfilled. I believe this is coming from spirits that have passed on. Now, who is it referencing to? I don't know. We will know when we get further into the reading. So this is the obstacle. I have hermit card. What is the hermit card? Let's read what the cheat sheet mentions about the hermit card. Okay, it says go within for clarity, a quest for personal truth and spiritual illumination. So I feel as though someone or some people may not be feeling fulfilled in terms of spiritual illumination. I think this is what spirit from the other side wants me to convey, right? They're unfulfilled. Somebody may feel like they are that you're not paying much attention to them, right? So I don't know who this reading is for, but it woke me up in the wee hours, and oftentimes I may get up a couple of times during the night. You would know the difference between when something is spiritual versus external, right? Well, it was spiritual. So, for those who may be listening in or tuning in, I think this is a message from the other side. They wanting you to set up some type of altar in their remembrance. And once you set this altar up, they're going to proceed to guide you as to what things you can place on that altar in remembrance of them. ALTAR, altar. In remembrance of them, commemorating them to honor them. More or less similarly to how people hold vigils at the spots where a transition may occur, an accident, or whatever the case may be. So I think this is what's going on right now in remembrance remembrance in their honor. I think this will help you in the healing process, whoever this reading is for. This will help in the healing process. You may not find any reverence in it or any purpose in it, but there is purpose in it, is what it wants me to convey to you. So I don't know who this reading is for, right? It's for someone. Above the situation, I have failure here, failure. And as you can see, you can barely even see this card, right? Well, if you proceed to study this card, it does have a traffic light there. All right. So I think they may feel as though that you're not paying them any attention. I don't know if this happened at a crossroads where someone passed away, like at a crossroads in an accident or something of the sort, because this is actually a traffic light that has went out. That's what that is. I have the card set of number 7 there, which has insight, spirituality, and contemplation. So I don't want to speak anything negative in regards to what transpired in the passing of whoever this person is death. I don't want to say that it was the traffic light, but I did mention about Mercury retrograde recalls and defects in transportation some time ago. So could this very well be in reference to something that transpired as a result of that, right? Like some type of malfunction in the software in regards to the transport or this car. I don't know, right? I'm not speaking any curses on anybody. I'm not. When I get when they begin to not necessarily taunt me, because I'm in good sound, I'm in good sound mind, if that makes sense to anybody. Like I'm here. I'm not crazy. You know, some people may consider me to be a little bit off or whatever. I'm not off, you know. But I think that when I get prompted regarding certain things, okay, go in and do a reading because it's going to present itself. I've been doing this for going on about 6 years now, or what have you, but I am not new to the other spectrum or the other existence, right? So even though I may not be um, into tarot or whatever different occult type of spiritual communication, that does not mean that God would not allow spirit or source to come in to convey a message, right? Like I'm not an astrologist. I don't know a lot about astrology, but I do have my own way of conveying in my own little way um, what I feel like spirits are trying to convey, right? To the left, I have happiness card. Happiness. Happiness. Something lets me know because it's in the past, there was something regarding this person not feeling fulfilled nor feeling happy, right? I honestly feel as though because I heard multiple knocks on my from the right coming from my closet. Multiple knocks. Doom, 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 doom. And this is coming from spirit. This is in the spiritual sense, right? They were not happy. Something lets me know that they did not feel happy. They did not feel fulfilled, right? I have the number 9 there. 9 symbolizes wisdom, fruition, and achievements. Something lets me know that even with the achievements that they accomplished in this life experience or their spiritual journey, they still did not feel fulfilled. That's what it wants me to convey, right? This is the reason I have an emperor. Oftentimes, when I get the emperor card, it's in regards to employment, authority figure, structure, leadership. But let me read the guide. So it says respect, leadership, strategic planning, and father figure. So I'm going to say that whomever this reading is applicable to, they do not feel fulfilled in what they did for a living. Right? Like they did not feel any type of pleasure or fulfillment or accomplishment in what they did. In other words, no matter what they did, it did not matter. Is what it wants me to convey. So why is that? I have cruelty here. Something lets me know whoever this reading is applicable to, it's in regards to death because they dealt in death. You see how you have this little what looks like a little wooden figure, and then you have the baby bottle here, or what have you. They did not feel fulfilled. You see how you got all these daggers coming down towards this wooden baby and baby bottle. So something lets me know that although it may be their employment or what they did for I'm sorry, what they did for a living, this is the real reason right here, right? Because like I said, it was a bunch of spirits knocking on the closet door. My closet is towards my right. Boom, 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 boom. This is the real reason right here, right? Even though I have this emperor card comes up as the root, right? If you're able to view that. But this right here, it lets me know in this reading, this is really truly the reason right here. Because as I mentioned before, I even laid the cards down, it was multiple. I would say anywhere from, because I can visually see it in my third eye as well as hear it. Had to have been at least 10 or 11, somewhere along in there, even though this is 9 that comes up here, right? So this is card 7. Card 7 is the attitude. I have art. Art. So what is art? Well, an artsy type of job, according to me, is a job that is really, it's not necessarily that it's not important, right? But it's more or less a job that is not really labor intensive, if that makes sense to anybody. Like when you think of somebody being in arts or have a degree in arts, typically you would think it's not really labor intensive. So oftentimes when people are in, let me see, I'm gonna just pull up degrees in arts, in the arts. What is a degree in the arts? All right, I'll give you an example. Graphic design, sculpture, music, bachelor's of arts, studio art, cinematography, media design, 3D studies, printmaking, ceramic art, photography and video, fine art, animation, film, photography, art and design, art history, drawing, performing arts, painting, architecture, interior design, master of fine arts, art creation. So these type of fields are not necessarily labor labor intensive, right? Like many times you may have people that may make you feel like you don't contribute because of having a an arts type of career or whatever the case may be, right? Like some people may make you feel that you need to blood, sweat, and tears, meaning you need to be putting in some physical labor in order to make oneself approve or to have worked. Some people don't consider a lot of this work, right? Okay. So that's what it wants me to convey to those who are out there. Now, this is the morale of what's physically surrounding. I have ruin, which has the number 10 there. Now, let me sit and I'm going to study this card some. So I honestly feel as though source or spirits are wanting me to know that those who gravitate to these particular um, settings are feeling unfulfilled or a sense of unhappiness. Now, this may not resonate with everybody that is in this particular field, but this is what it wants me to convey to those who it does resonate for, right? Ruin. Somehow they feel like they either someone ruined their life or they feel like their life is in ruin or whatever the case may be. But I'm going to read the cards as it may, and I'm going to show you how being a medium, when these spirits start coming at me, I'm going to go out here and I'm going to pull my cards out and I'm going to lay it as it may. It's going to resonate with someone, right? Because I don't have a degree or focus in arts. My background is in science, with the emphasis on science or what have you, right? So that's not to say that just because a person went to school for this, that they are more or less than or of a less reverence or importance. No, because when it's your time to meet that silver lining, it don't make no damn difference what you went to school for, right? Okay. Now, this is what I have as hopes, fears, and dreams card. I have indolence in turn upside down. Indolence is laziness. They want you to know that they're not lazy. They put their heart, sweat, tears, blood, time, everything into what they do, right? Even though it may not be labor intensive, it's in the mind. You got to realize that oftentimes when people don't work with their body, blue collar, they may work with the mind, which to me is just as worse, if not even worse, right? And Lord have mercy when you do both at the same time. Like as a LPN, I consider that to be both, right? Because you have a glimpse on what is considered to be, quote, professional, as well as what's considered to be labor intensive. So I honestly feel as though that is worse than all, to tell you the truth. All right, so outcome, sorrow. I honestly feel as though someone wants you to know they feel sorry. They want to apologize to you and me for that burnout. And they want to compensate you for that. We want to compensate you for that. We feel sorry and empathy for you, is what it wants whoever this reading is for to know, right? You will be compensated for your sleepless nights, for your tired meeting deadlines and whatnot. This is what it wants me to know. Now let's go ahead. I'm not gonna. What do I want to do? What do I want to do? Because I want to maintain the integrity of the reading. So certain cards would not be appropriate, I feel. Right? Okay, so we're going to go ahead and we're going to pull out. Oh, gosh. Let's go ahead. We're going to pull out. I'm going to do two of my Celtic cards. Thoughts, faith, and belief. All right, we're going to say 1 and 2. So some people may feel as though um, tarot cards is storytelling. It is telling a story of those who are no longer here. We all are a story. That's what the Bible is. It's full of stories. It's a life theme to this life existence, right? All right, so we have two cards here. I have 7 of Wands. Well, 7 relates to insight, spirituality, and contemplation. And Wands relates to willpower and life force, passion, creativity, ego, and personality. So I do believe that these spirits wanted me to know, to tell their story and how they were, because of um, lack of recognition in what they did, helped to perpetuate their demise, right? Is what it wants me to know, appreciation and gratitude, a lack thereof that was coming from whoever, whatever profession they may have been in, or whoever their employer or whatever. This is what it wants me to convey, right? This is what led to my demise because of worry and stress as a result of what I did and what I didn't do, and I didn't measure up and things like that, right? Now let's pull out my cheat sheet because the 7 of wands. Self-defense, protect against competition. So in other words, they felt the need to always be on edge. They felt the need to always be competitive, to always measure up, to always this, to always that, this, that, and that, and this, that, and that. Never, 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 never was enough. Never was enough. No matter what I did, it was never was enough. It never was enough. It never was enough. It never was enough. You would damn yourself to hell if you continue to put these pressures on people. And I think this is what Source or God wants me to relate out. And I'm not threatening nobody, because when them damn spirits start aggravating me, I'm finna go out, come in here, and I'm going to put the cards down. It's going to lay as it may. Call me a storyteller. We are all a story, right? We are all a history in the making. We are all a part of a life thing, right? So when they start aggravating me, I'm finna come in here and lay the cards down. Page of Cups. So page cards are messengers that bring newness and promise. These cards can represent children or young people. I feel as though it's the past, right? Cups relates to feelings and emotion, creativity, relationship, intuition, and compassion. So let me pull out my cheat sheet. All right, Page of Cups. It says a studious kid, new love, volunteer work. So I also feel as though that right there is to let you know why we have a lot of nonprofit organizations where people just say, okay, well, if I'm treated like this for doing works, how will I be treated for volunteering my work? Right? Now, do that make any sense? Right. So I think this message, this is somebody wanted me to convey this message because you will find that many people feel this way, right? They do. And I'm just relaying the message. I truly am. I really am. let's find out about the love department. I wasn't gonna pull out love, but it's prompted me to pull out 2 cards for love. Somebody needs to hear this, whether you want to listen to it or not. Is up to you. You can curse yourself for not listening to wisdom, and that's the God's honest truth. All right, so let's get 1 and let's get 2. So focus on things that is irrelevant, right? Okay, because I plan on being here for another 40 years. So I'm not going to let you or whomever else take me away from this space. And this is what spirits are wanting me to convey out into the universe. All right. We have this, not today, not dealing, hurt, avoiding conversation, called person, boundaries, still angry. So I honestly feel as though that's basically what that is. These spirits wanting you to know that they're angry still because of some things that transpired with them because of people wanting to meet deadlines for what? Now, don't get me wrong. There is boundaries. There is order. There is things that needs to be done in this life experience. It is. But at what cost? All right. The next card I have here is hammer, sabotage, rebuilding, interrogation, repetitive, persistent, working on it. Who used the hammer some years ago, according to the biblical text? This is God, baby. I'm just laying the cards. How do you know this is God? Because I get prompted is what I'm trying to get y'all to see. I don't care anything about. Don't get me wrong. I don't mean it in that sense, right? But like I said, I don't do readings on Fridays, right? I've already stipulated when I do my reading. So this is something that I know is coming from source, right? Now, even though it resonates with me, still I'm going to read the cards as it may. They want you to know that this person is not lazy. And the list is turned upside down. They're not lazy. See, I have surveillance here because I want to make sure no one is coming in manipulating my cards to where it can appear to be biased, right? Because oftentimes if you see things, you can formulate an opinion, and then people can say, okay, yeah, that's just your own desires putting into the cards and you just reading it as it may. I promise to God, please get you 2 or 3 decks and work with those cards. For those who have a curiosity about tarot card, you have got to get you a couple of decks and work with those cards and watch how God, Spirit, is going to relate a message to you. Many of times they are self-readings. Right? Right. So I am going to go ahead. I'm not going to do an angel card, but what I will do is a soul purpose card. And then I'm going to end with a healing angel card. We're going to bring this to a close. So we're going to be doing this quite frequently. Like my readings are typically, again, Sundays, Tuesdays, Thursday, and then I may on Saturdays do my chakra readings. But to be honest with you, when I'm being pulled by source or spirit, okay, I'm going to come in any day. It could be even on those days. I can come back later on and do a reading, right? Okay, so let me meditate, and I'm going to see. I am focused on this one. I'll focus on this card here. Yeah, antagonizing, harassment, and stuff like that. Those are spirits. Those are it reveals to me to relate out those that is the angel of death, right? It is in human form. Just sit back and pay attention because God's going to show it to you. Right? Okay. All right. I just was prompted. I dropped 2 of the healing oracle cards. So I'm going to say that these are the two that I need to speak on. Somebody needs to hear this reading. Somebody needs to hear this reading or watch this visual presentation. I think I'm going to post this one to my Patreon. For those who may be tuning in, I do have a cash out. Before I proceed, let me. Oh gosh. Let me pull up. You know what? I don't even have my cash out on here because I don't even use it, to be honest with you. So let me go ahead and download and I'll let you know what my actual cash out um, is. But while I download that, I'm going to tell you I do have a Patreon. If you go on the website, patreon.com/spiritual sense, I only have a couple of videos that I put on there because I just really started that. I don't really didn't know much about it. And I got to sit down, I sat down and I took up some time. I said, you know what? Yes, this is what this is. Let me see. K-A-R-O. This is what this is or what have you. Bear with me just a moment. 197882. All right, let's see. All right, it's asking a whole bunch of questions right now, but I want to say it's $ Magic Mind Medium on my Cash App. Again, my Patreon is patreon.com/spiritual sense. You will be amazed. I'm telling you, you just have to really get these cards. It's a spiritual communication tool. God does have a way to give us messages. It may not be something that you can prove in court or what have you. You just have to get a sensibility. All right. So, what is the soul truth? Soul purpose, I should say. Protected. We want you to know you're protected. You will be compensated. You will be um, acknowledged for what you've done and your contributions. This is what I feel as though Source of Spirit wants to know. It said you are safe and supported while you change your career, right? Um, Whether you choose to, um, if some may be looking to retire or perhaps get out of these words or whatever the case may be, because you're going to always hear me speak about things involving career, job, work, and things of that nature. You're going to forever hear me speaking about that. So if it oftentimes comes up in my readings, that is why. Because a job or career is how we support ourselves. That's how we make our living. That's how we are able to sustain in this society. So it's very important, right? Relationships, love, health, whether it's mind, body, spirit, and career. I mean, these are even when as I sit here and go over the suits of tarot. What are the main things? Well, the Pentacles has a lot to do with material aspects of life. That's career, finances, business, and possession. Wands has a lot to do with willpower and life force, passion, creativity, ego, and personality. So, what is life force? Mind, body, and spirit. Swords has a lot to do with mind and the intellect, action, knowledge, power, and change, like how you execute uh, in terms of life and career. Cups has a lot to do with feelings and emotions, how you respond to these things, like the dynamics of what's going on with these things. Creativity, relationship, intuition, and compassion. All right, so let's go ahead. We're going to pull out the healing oracle cards, and we're going to bring this to a close. Action. So I honestly feel as though some things are going to happen in terms of action, right? Like they want you to take action. Get you an altar, ancestral altar, and that's going to be a spiritual subject that I'm going to update because I think I talked about that once or twice. Get you an ancestral altar and proceed to pay homage to those in your past because they will guide you in the right path. Even those who were pioneers in whatever spiritual related job field that or spiritual duty that you may be in, you will notice that those pioneers will inform you of some things that may have transpired in history as well, right? Action, my divine action incites love and harmony. I am aware of my thoughts and driven by positive forces. I listen to my heart. My desire to manifest light transforms test into growth, challenge into opportunity, and fear into love. Now, this is the next healing oracle. Choice. So, I think a lot of things that are important right now is your actions and your choices. Is what source or spirit is wanting those who are here in this life experience, us as physical beings, to know, right? I choose serenity, light, and positive energy. Say these affirmations. These are affirmations. No matter what I go through, I choose happiness. And take note of this now, because this is what the people did not feel. They did not feel fulfilled or happy. So you want to choose happiness because happiness was, or lack thereof, was the reason for their transition. It's what it wants me to convey, right? These are those who have passed on. I rise above fear and direct my thoughts to God. So I am not crazy. I'm going to let you know, source, when they start coming at me, I'm finna come in here and let somebody know something. Right? Okay. So I am going to conclude this episode of Spiritual Sense. Doing a random tarot card, 10 card, Celtic card cross. If you have any questions, comments, or suggestions, you're more than welcome to comment below. Until then, have a sacred, wonderful day. Good day.